My sister handed me a DNA test to prove I don't belong, so I invited Mom's secret kids over. On Christmas, my sister Sarah slid a paternity test across the table like a joke gift. So you remember you're not really part of this family, she said, smirking. Dad laughed so hard he wheezed. Mom didn't stop smiling. I'd already sat through an hour of little digs, Sarah calling me the mystery kid, Dad asking if I wanted to check the mailbox for updates. I'm 29, and I've been the odd one out in the Peterson family my whole life. Different hair, different build, and I don't match in the old family photos. For years, they've joked about the mailman like it's cute. So when Sarah pushed that DNA kit at me, I didn't flinch. I set it down and said, fine, but let's make it interesting. Sarah leaned in, ready to watch me lose. How about we all take DNA tests? I said. You know, for science. The laughter died. Dad's smile froze. Mom's knife stopped mid-slice. Sarah gave a tight laugh. Why would we need to? Dad pushed the kit closer and said, open it. Do it right now. Sarah started tapping her nails on her glass like she was timing me. I didn't open anything. I just looked at them and said, you really want proof? Mom's smile slipped for a second, then she forced it back. Because I already took one 6 months ago, I said, and pulled out my phone. I turned the screen toward them. According to 23andMe, I have a half-sister named Jessica, I said. She matched with me, and she's been looking for her biological family. Sarah grabbed the phone like she could shake the answer out of it. Jessica's profile was right there. Same last name as Mom's maiden name. Her wrist had the same small birthmark Mom has. Mom's face went white. Dad stopped breathing for a second. That site messes up, Mom said fast. So I checked, I said, swiping to our messages and paperwork. Then I pulled up the dates. Jessica was born 9 months after your business trip to Chicago in 1995, I said. Remember that trip, Mom? The one where you couldn't be reached for 3 days? Dad sat up fast, chair scraping. Linda, what is this? Mom stared at the table. No words. Sarah tried to laugh again. You edited it. You can't edit shared DNA, I said. Sarah lunged for the phone, but Dad held it higher. Mom reached for my arm like she wanted to stop my mouth with her hand. I stepped back from the table. Please, Jake, she whispered. Not today. Today was your idea, I said. I kept scrolling. Oh, it gets better. This is Michael from Denver, born in 1998. That marketing seminar you went to alone, I said, looking at Mom. Dad grabbed the phone from Sarah and stared at the screen. Sarah's voice went sharp. Stop showing him, Jake. Then explain Emma, I said, and showed a younger girl with Mom's eyes. Portland, 2001. She even has the same rare eye problem you complain about. Dad's face turned red. 3 kids, he said, voice shaking. Mom's hands trembled as she gripped the table. Sarah whispered, Jake, stop. You're ruining Christmas. You handed me a test to tell me I don't belong, I said. So no. Dad stood up. How long have you known? Since the match came in, I said. I pulled a thick envelope from my jacket and dropped it on the table. Printouts, messages, match pages. Not a prank. Mom pushed her chair back like she wanted to run. I've been talking to all of them for months, I said. They want to meet their biological mother in person. Sarah's head snapped up. All of them? Jessica, Michael, Emma, I said. Mom stood up too fast. You didn't, she said, voice cracking. I did, I said. Jessica's driving here right now. I checked my texts. She should be here in about an hour. Michael lands tonight, I added. Emma's family is coming in the morning. Dad's jaw clenched. Tell me this is a lie, he said to Mom. Mom swallowed. It's complicated. Complicated? Dad snapped. We've been married 26 years. Sarah snapped at me. You planned this. You gave me 6 months of jokes, I said. I gave you 6 months of silence. My phone buzzed again. A new match. Make that 4, I said. David from Miami. He's looking for answers too. Mom's eyes darted to the hallway, like she was thinking about locking the door. Then the doorbell rang. Everyone went still. Sarah grabbed my sleeve. Don't, she hissed. Mom looked like she might faint. Dad's hands were clenched, knuckles white. I pulled the curtain back an inch. On the porch stood a young woman with Mom's nose and chin, holding a wrapped present. That'll be Jessica, I said, and walked to the door. I opened it, and cold air rushed in. Hi, she said softly. I'm Jessica. Jake said this was a good time. I stepped aside. Come in, I said. Meet your biological family. She walked into the living room, and the room went dead quiet. Dad stared at Mom like he'd never seen her before, and Mom couldn't meet anyone's eyes. Now my sister is calling me cruel for exposing Mom. Was I wrong?